Hi guys, Dave here with a new lesson for you. Today we're going to look at one of my favourite police songs, Bring On The Night. Some really interesting guitar parts here and some overdubs as well, which I'll take you through the whole lot. Okay, let's start off with the intro. So the thing is started with a palm muting throughout, and it's kind of like a funky single note part. Interestingly, Sting tends to play this live. He does it on the bass, and then when the band kicks in, he goes into his normal bass part. But on the record, it's Andy Summers playing this. Okay, so structure-wise, you've got one bar of C, one bar of D, and then 2 bars of E minor. But all he's doing is playing the roots on each of these chords. So we're going to start with the C note. That's on the 3rd fret of the A string, and we're just going to go. So beat 1 is going up down, so it's like on the 2nd semiquaver, then down down on beat 2, and then down up on beat 3 and beat 4. So together, like that. It slightly swings it, and then the next bar we're on a D. So again, we're going to go, this is on fret 5 of the A, and we're going to go up, down again, down, down, then beat 3, down, down, up, and then beat 4, down, up, down, up. So together. Like that. Then we're going to move up to E on fret 7. So most of this is on fret 7 on the A, up, down, down, down. Same thing for beat 3, down, down. Then beat 4, down, and then we're going to play the open E string on the last downstroke. Then on the last bar of E, kind of straightens out at the end. So up, down, 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 and then I'll just take you through the last 8 notes. So 7, 7, 7. Well, 3 7s basically. Then we play 5, hammer on 7, go to 5 on the D, and then back to the A string, 7, 5. So I'm going down, down, up, hammer, up, down, up, like that. So I'll do the whole sequence very slowly. Like so, and that's the intro. Now the verse part is a finger picking thing, and the way he does it, he uses his thumb, his index and his middle fingers when he does this. And the pattern throughout, I'm just going by string number, it's just going to go 4 2 1 4 2 1 4 2. So thumb plays the fourth string, index plays the second string, and then middle finger plays the first. And that is a pattern for each shape. Now interestingly, the part, rather than being regular chords, is playing a series of major and minor 6 intervals combined with the open first string. So the first shape is fret 10 on the D and B strings. Then the next one is 9 on the D and 8 on the B. Then 7D, 7B. Then 10D, 10B. Then we drop down to fret 5 on the D and B strings. Then all the way up to fret 12 on the D and B strings. Down to fret 10 on the D and B. And then down to fret 9 on the D, 8 on the B. So I'll play through it once, the whole thing. Like so. Okay, now another way that you could play it, because you are going to be switching between strumming and picking, you could all hybrid pick it. It's a little bit more awkward, but it is possible to do it like that. So if I was hybrid picking it, the pick would be taking care of the fourth string, my middle finger would do the second string, and then my ring finger would take care of the first string. It would make it easier when you're swapping between strumming and picking. Andy Summers doesn't do that. He finger picks it, and then he kind of misses off like the last few notes to switch between like the pick and finger picking. And when he's finger picking, he just puts the pick in his mouth by the looks of it. I've watched live footage of him do it. But it doesn't mean that he can't play all the way up to the end of each bar when he's going between the sections. Still just something to consider. So he finger picks it, but you could hybrid pick it. So the chorus, let's talk about the chords first of all. 1 bar of G, 1 bar of A, 1 bar of A minor 7, and then you get a split bar, 2 beats on an E minor 7 and then a D major 9. But it's basically all kind of major triads that he's playing throughout the whole lot. So let's go through it. So the first one's a G. The way he plays it live is he bars across fret 12 on the B, G and D strings, and then plays fret 10 on the A. And the basic strumming pattern, he's really just doing kind of more like reggae chops, but the way he's doing it is he's playing in 16th notes, down, up, but he's pushing down on the chord on the second down. So you kind of get a scratch, scratch, chord, push down, and then relaxes, scratch for the last one. Like that. And he does that for each beat. He moves the whole shape up 2 frets to form an A chord and does the same thing. Then he changes to an A minor shape. That's fret 12 on strings 1 to 5, barring across, and then you're holding down 13th fret on the B and 14th fret on the D. Then he moves that shape down to fret 7 to create an E minor 7 chord. Just for 2 beats. Then he moves that shape up 2 frets, and actually, even though this is more of an F sharp minor 7 chord, because there's a D in the bass, it becomes more of a D major 9 sound. And he does 1 beat like the others, and then on the last beat he scratches on the down, pushes on the chord for an up down, and then relaxes again for the last upstroke. So I'll play through that whole sequence slowly. Like that, and then that sequence goes round twice for the chorus. Okay, now I believe there are some overdub guitar parts on there. They're quite low in the mix, but I do feel that they're there. And the first one is underneath the verse, and it's very similar to what he plays in the intro. It's that kind of palm muted effect, and he's just following the root notes of each chord. So for the over the C chord, he's holding down the C note on the 3rd fret of the A, and the basic pattern that I think he's doing is he's just palm muting it, and it's just going to be down up on each beat, but the first note is muted, just relaxed, and then pushes down. So you kind of get down, up, like that. Does it on each beat, so 1 bar of that. Then he just moves that up to the D on the 5th fret, does the same thing. Then up to the E on the 7th fret. And then another bar of that. It's very subtle, and it's more of a texture sort of idea, so it's not really high in the mix, but it's just bubbling underneath the main part. Now the other part, again, this is more of a textural thing, but when you listen, you can definitely hear it. If you listen closely on the record, it definitely sounds like there's more than one guitar part, whereas you've got him on the main one just doing kind of reggae chops, if you like. Underneath it, you've got this other one where he's playing more. And it's the same chords. I'm actually going to play all of these with the same shape, actually, because this is another way that you could play the chorus as far as the left hand goes, all with the same shape. But the way the overdub goes is a bit more of the chords. So again, it's just like what we did in the verse. You're going to scratch on the first chord and then push down and go up, down, up. Like that. Now I'm just going to use the same shape for each one, which you can do. So the G is I'm going to play it like this. Instantly you can use the same shapes as we used for the main part, that's absolutely fine, but I thought it'd be nice to show you an alternative way. So fret 7, bowing across the first 3 strings, fret 8 on the B and fret 9 on the D strings. Really you're only playing the first 3 strings, that's really just to help kind of mute off unwanted noise basically, or unwanted strings. So that's for the G, then just move it up 2 frets for the A. Incidentally, that's at fret 9. Then for the A minor 7, I can take the same shape, move it up to fret 12. Then move it down to fret 7 for the E minor 7 for 2 beats. And then up to the 9th fret for the D major 9. There you go, and that's the overdub for the chorus. Now the songwriting I find quite interesting on this, because on the surface it looks like a very simple song, but because of the parts and the way they intertwine with each other, you end up with kind of an interesting harmony. So if we just look at the verse, really very simple idea. You've got 1 bar of C, 1 of D, and then 2 bars of E minor. But because of the notes that are being played in the other guitar part, you get a lot more movement. Even that first part, you're getting a very, like a C6 sort of sound on the first chord. And then the next one, it's more like a C major 7. And then for the D, you get like a D major add 9, and then a D9. And then for the E minor, it's mainly E minor, it starts on E minor, then it's E minor 7, and then we get an A minor over an E minor, and then back to E minor. So, you know, even though the bass and the initial idea is very simple, with that other guitar part, it kind of brings out different notes within the chord and different versions of that chord. So, interesting. Now, even in the chorus is interesting because again, it's kind of like, so the first bit you'd say the verse is kind of E minor, and then it moves up to the relative major for the chorus, so G major. But it's kind of what they call modal transposition. So it starts off G, then it goes up to an A chord. So it's kind of implying kind of more of a Lydian sort of tonality. But then that A chord switches to an A minor, which would put it more in the kind of the G major or G Ionian, as would the E minor 7. But then the last chord, again we get the kind of an A major flavour, but with a D in the bass. So again it kind of takes it back to kind of more of a Lydian sound at the end. So it kind of twists your ear a little bit at the end there. So yeah, so they were the kind of the main interesting points I thought of as far as the song structure goes. Okay, one last thing to talk about is sound setup. So as usual at the moment, I'm using my Line 6 Helix. Quite a simple patch. I've basically got a clean guitar sound. I think I'm using a Fender Twin. Bit of compression on the front ends just to kind of even out the sound a bit, which Andy Summers did most of the time, I do believe. And other than that, I've just got a flanger going. So, I mean, without it, basic clean sound, put the flanger on. And I've got it set so that the sweep is quite slow, so you get almost like a phaser. And initially I think I did try it with a phaser setting, but I think it's more of a flanger when you listen to it. It's got a slightly more of that sort of quality to it. Great when you're doing muted guitar strum parts. You know, or even the finger picking stuff. And I think at that time he didn't have that many pedals. This was kind of early days of the Police, and I think that was I think was it the Electric Mistress flanger that was the mainstay of his setup back then. Okay, I think that's all I need to cover for this song. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you get a lot from it and have fun playing this song. Okay guys, take care and I will see you again real soon.